In Chapter 2, the chapter I was assigned, I chose the concept of discrimination, which is the unjustified negative behaviors towards members of outgroups based on their group membership. More specifically, negative behaviors involved with discrimination is what I have experienced in my personal career. Discrimination is unfortunately not a thing of the past and is still prevalent in today's generation and society. I'm a cashier at HEB. I've worked there for about 5 years now in total. There was one specific occurrence that stuck out to me as far as discrimination goes. It was a typical day of scanning groceries, communicating with many different individuals. One specific individual was a Mexican gentleman that spoke both English and Spanish. Now, since I am half Mexican and can speak fluent Spanish, that was not an issue to me to be able to communicate with him in what I could tell was his native language. If anything, I took it as an opportunity to be able to truly hold a conversation with him in a way that was easy for him to understand and vice versa. He could have easily spoken English with me and I him, but he was appreciative of me speaking to him in Spanish, and I was appreciative of me being able to practice my Spanish. We spoke about what he needed, which was a bag of ice and a propane tank exchange. He thanked me to speaking to him in Spanish, and we even had a conversation about what part of Mexico my family was from, as well as his. I explained to him that my mom is from San Luis Potosí, and he said that his family was from Monterrey. I thanked him for coming into our store and said, "Que tengas un buen día," which means, "I hope you have a great day." I handed him the receipt, and the conversation honestly left me with a smile on my face. The feeling of being understood tends to do that, right? Make people happy. Next in line, there was a gentleman who I immediately noticed looking rather upset. By rather upset, I mean extremely upset. I greeted him saying, "Hello, sir, did you find everything all right today?" He responded with, "If you can't speak English, get the F out of this country." Our country, he said, actually. His response left me in shock. He proceeded, "These Mexicans can't come here and expect us to speak their language when our language is English." I have never handled discrimination well. By well, I mean in a polite way. That man had no respect for me, nor for that man. I knew my response would probably not change his negative views and discriminatory views, but I was most definitely not going to push it under the rug and what he had said aside. I responded with, "Well, sir, he did not expect me to speak Spanish. However, since I do, I had no problem speaking with him in a language we both understand. While you may not understand what we said, that shouldn't be an issue to you." He, of course, responded even more angrily, "Well, you speak both languages, why can't he?" I responded, "He spoke both languages as well, even though that shouldn't matter if he only spoke one. To be closed-minded and hateful towards such a beautiful language and culture truly makes me feel sad for you. I'd also like to educate you, sir, that people who speak more than 2 languages are naturally more intelligent." My manager then got involved, but backed me up, letting the man know that we don't allow discrimination in our store. My manager had me step away while he finished the order, and it just goes so that this specific interaction I had with both men showed that discrimination and racism is definitely not a thing of the past. It's still very much prevalent today. However, I had no issue speaking up for myself and for that man. And I hope this goes as a lesson to you that if you see something, don't always feel like you need to push it underneath the rug, especially in a place of work. You should always say something when you feel that it's wrong.